Hey everybody, Austin here from Anza Trail School in Sahuarita, Arizona, a place just south of Tucson, which is our home base, home here where we live. And I've got Mike Michalzik here, our media director, with us. We're going to talk to Mike in a minute, but before we do, I want to give you a couple of highlights and things going on. The first one is that we had a great dinner in September in Houston. Invited many of you that live close to there, everybody that lived close to there, and a lot of you were able to come, and it was just a great night of really celebrating what God has done in 5 years of Worship Catalyst, which we celebrate today. So this is a really great day for us to be able to do that and to be able to come and talk to you guys. Over the next few months, we'll put on little snippets of that evening, so be looking for that so you can see kind of some of the things that went on. The second thing I want to talk about is that I was able to go up to Vegas and visit our hub up there this last week. Ben Lunn is our connector, and also Eddie Hancock works up there catalyzing a lot of the things that we do. And we sat in the living room floor at Eddie's house. Eddie works at planting a bunch of churches in the Vegas area. That's kind of his role and his job in life. And we looked at a map that was probably 6 feet by 4 feet, and we looked at dots on a map where he and a team had decided where the next 55 churches are going in the Las Vegas Valley. And so we are so excited to start helping those churches as soon as they come online. That's going to take a while to get all of them done. But one last thing before we talk to Mike, and that is that September has been a big month for Finley. Finley turned 8 years old this month. That blows a lot of you away because when we moved here, she had just turned 3. Second thing is that she got to go to the opening concert on the Justin Bieber Believe tour with her mom, and that's the one where Justin Bieber threw up on stage. So that was exciting. And then the third thing is that Finley lost her third tooth, the one right there, and she actually wrote a song about it, and so I wanted you to hear that song. So here's a Finley break.
The tooth song. I lost a tooth and I cannot replace it. Found it on the ground that day. I forgot the words and I cannot replace them, but I cannot replace my tooth. I lost a tooth today. There's no replacing it. I cannot find a tooth that will fit in the place. I lost a tooth today. It was very exciting. Daddy just yanked it out. I did not feel a thing. Tucson.
All right, so here we go with Mike Michalzik. Hello, Mike.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. So Mike and his wife Karen and their family moved out in 2007. We haven't talked to Mike on video in a while, so we just wanted to kind of update a few things that were going on. And Mike, since they have moved out here, has helped dozens of churches and really made Worship Catalyst a much broader ministry than it originally probably had planned. God has really used them a lot. So let's talk about a couple of things here going on. We haven't talked in a while. One of them is sound systems, because I know that a lot of churches that are brand new don't have the money to really buy a sound system right off the bat, or that's not the only way that they can invest their money. So why don't you talk a little bit about what we decided to do to help that?
All right, so what we decided to do is we did a couple of things. Through a partnership, Worship Catalyst purchased a few sound systems. Actually, it's 2 systems that can be broken down in different ways that go to different churches when needed. And then also, some of the other churches in the area caught our vision and have donated stuff to us. So we now have about 3 to 5 different sound systems that can go out at any time to any different church, and they are allowed to keep the equipment for as long as they need it, and then they bring it back to us, and then we redistribute it to another church as needed.
That is really cool. That's good that you get to do that. And Mike bought a truck when he moved here, and that truck gets a lot of miles on it. Worship Catalyst activity. So another place that you went recently is a church called Grace Fellowship. So what did you do up there last Saturday?
So we did a couple of things. They just recently moved from a cafeteria like this into a gym. So they had some challenges with how to best set up their sound system. So we did some training, some best practices there, and then also helped them relay out their rooms so that it would be more what's the right word? More aligned for corporate worship, making it more open and personable. And then we also spent some time talking about their values, some of the Worship Catalyst values.
That's good. You know, Mike was telling me that they talked a lot about unity and excellence and stuff. So what kind of brought that on?
So there were a couple of challenges. Sometimes sound engineers and bands and all they have different expectations. So we spent some time talking about how it has to be unity between the technology and the people physically on the stage, and how we're all worship leaders, and the values that we also stress with excellence and authenticity, and how that all goes together for effective worship.
So how many of you out there that are in a church have a sound person or a media person that talks very fluidly about the values of the church? I mean, that is really cool that Mike is not only just a knob jockey, but he's also sharing the real important things with churches and stuff like that. One last thing, and then we're out of here for this week's update, this month's update. But we're standing in this sitting in this school, Anza Trail School, which is at K through 8 here in Arizona. And this is the place where our home base church for Worship Catalyst meets, and that is Common Ground. Common Ground has grown quite a bit, and so over the summer, we had no choice but to do some upgrades to make this room more usable. And so why don't you talk a little bit about the upgrades that we did for that?
Okay, so we actually made this has actually been the second year we've been doing it. The first year we started this modification, we did these projector screens that are back here. And then this year specifically, as part of the Project 2012, we began with an installation of a new lighting system for them, for Common Ground, as well as also the new sound system. And I can honestly tell you, this cafeteria has one of the best sound systems in the state. But the thing about this, and the key point is, yes, it was done with Common Ground growth in mind, but every single piece of equipment here also serves the Anza Trail School and the school district. And they can have events in here and everything, and our technology teams make sure that they're properly equipped. So it's us also, again, the towel on our arms, Worship Catalyst with Common Ground Church, partnering to make the community a better place.
It's really a unique relationship, and every time that there's anything that has to do with a play or a music thing or whatever, Mike and his team are here to make all that possible, and so it's really cool. The other person you saw in that video, in case you, those of you that have been around a long time, that was Bob Beck, and Bob is kind of your right-hand man, huh?
Bob makes a lot of my ideas come into reality that otherwise could not.
Yeah, Mike has dumb ideas, great ideas that seem dumb, and then Bob makes them happen, so that's kind of their partnership. So anyway, thanks as always for being a part of Worship Catalyst. Thanks for your gifts and for your prayers and for making all of this ministry possible. Please realize that this isn't, that this ultimately is God's story, and it's being carried out not just through us that live here and all, but it's being carried out through you because you're so much of an integral part of this ministry. So God bless you all. Have a fantastic month. We'll talk to you next time.